Welcome to Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, with your host, Steve Garrett, lifetime member of the National Corvette Museum, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 45 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call them at 833-840-5334. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. And be sure to visit the Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join our Corvette Today Facebook group there as well. Also, make sure you sign up for the Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at CorvetteToday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube as well. And be sure to patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, MidEngineCorvetteForum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of fellow Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at MidEngineCorvetteForum.com. Soul Performance Products. Developed and manufactured in the United States, the Soul Performance Products exhaust portfolio has been tailored to elevate the experience of the world's most exciting sports cars, including the latest generation of the Corvette. Soul Performance Products at SOULPP.com, the official performance exhaust of Corvette Today. Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvette. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit Aerolarri.com. That's AEROLARRI.com. And use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. C8 Corvettes. If you're a Corvette enthusiast, and I know you are since you're listening and watching Corvette Today, then you need to know about C8 Corvette. They're based in Atlantic City, where you can find over 100 new and pre-owned vets on the lot and inbound. C8 also ships Corvettes all over the country, custom ordered to your specifications. They're staffed with experienced pros who can answer all your questions. So don't compromise. Visit CiocaCorvette.com. That's CIOCCA Corvette.com and find out more. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. E5 Wheels. E5 Wheels is a passionate and dedicated wheel company that serves only Corvette. They make spun-forged wheels for your C8, C7, and C6 Corvette. With the best fitment in the industry, E5 Wheels ensures your wheels complement the aesthetics and functionality while optimizing the performance of your Corvette. Visit e5wheels.com or call them at 305-964-7429. And a shout out to Canadian Corvette Forum and Corvette Forum, welcoming Corvette enthusiasts from around the world. All right, everybody, here we go. Time to bring you the latest Corvette news and headlines with my buddy Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Keith is with me every other week. We keep you current and up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. Keith, welcome back to the show. We got a busy couple weeks coming up, buddy.
Yeah, I believe we're both traveling to Carlisle this week, and then the following week after, we've got the Caravan and the NCM's 30th anniversary show. So it's going to be jam-packed. Not only are we doing our regular day jobs, but then we're going to be just in Corvette heaven with all these shows going on and stuff. Really looking forward to the next few weeks.
As I tell my wife, it's a time and an opportunity for me to Corvette geek out. You know what I mean?
That's right. We'll do a deep dive and then take us the rest of the year to kind of recover.
Exactly. Well, buddy, let's start off the show like we always do. Let's get a production update from the Bowling Green Assembly Plant.
Yeah, absolutely. So for the most part, it appears production is really humming along at a normal clip. Haven't really seen any real disruptions during the last few weeks. And in fact, going all the way back to the summer break and the 4th of July, things have been looking really good. Keeping the fingers crossed there. As far as totals go, hang on to your hats because I think we're going to reach 40,000 Corvettes produced for the 2024 model year this week.
Wow.
And in fact, it could actually happen today on Monday. So that's pretty exciting stuff. And, it just kind of seems like these numbers kind of go and go and go. And then boom, you see a huge number like that. The VIN counts show that we have currently 29,330 Stingrays, 9,437 Z06s, and 932 E-Rays. So that's a total of 39,699 as we are recording this right now. If all goes well, the E-Ray should surpass 1,000 this week.
Right.
And then the Z06 is on track to have 10,000 units by the end of the month or just into the first couple of days of September. Those are some really huge numbers. We all think of the Z06 as kind of this boutique sports car, but they're closing in on 16,000, 17,000 units produced already, both 2023s and 2024s. And that's a lot of cars. Hopefully those people that are on these lists are seeing movement because they're building anywhere from 40 to 50 to 60 a day sometimes. They've really been on a good clip, and we've got some information coming up. We know that Z07's been constrained just a little bit, but we're seeing a little loosening there. So some things are happening there. But yeah, 40,000 Corvettes, again, another huge number. Still, we've got till September 9th or so until production ends and the 2025 starts.
Amazing numbers, buddy. Also, Chevrolet has told us they have 3,900 Corvettes on the ground and available for sale. I know what that means. Let's explain to everybody else exactly what on the ground means.
Exactly. So I have a reader named Jeff Thomas who occasionally sends me some interesting stuff. In the beginning of August, he actually broke out the stats of the cars available on Chevrolet's live inventory tracker. The disclaimer is the live inventory shows both dealer stock orders, but also customer sold orders and even cars that might be in transit. So not every car you're going to see is available. And that was especially true probably for Z06s and E-Rays, where most of those are customer orders and not dealer orders. On the flip side, you have 3888 is what the number we had. And Jeff broke it down by trims per each model, as well as the body styles and the colors. What you can really do is, especially for Stingrays, because there's going to be a lot of dealer stock out there for Stingrays, there's 7 colors that were just discontinued for this model year and then going forward. For example, you have to have a cacti green Corvette. That's probably where I would start looking, is on the Chevrolet Live inventory tracker. See what's around you, maybe start expanding out to dealers outside your metro area. Eventually, you're going to probably find a dealer that's got one available that maybe has most of the things that you're looking for. That car might be available. It's a great way to really search if you're looking for a particular car, one that's already built, one that you might be able to pick up at a discount. That live inventory thing might be something to really dive into and take a look at. I'm hoping we do that maybe once a month now. We kind of just start looking and seeing what's out there, what's available, because like I said, especially for Stingray, a lot of these cars are going to be dealer stock.
That's an excellent idea. Also, speaking of dealerships, we had the second allocation given to them for the 2025 models, didn't we?
Yeah, so we're just now wrapping up that latest order cycle, and the constraints, of course, came out last Thursday as well. This was the second one for the 2025 model year. What we heard was dealers got all 3 models, and in fact, we actually saw an increase of the E-Rays being allocated. Before, we never saw more than 2 go to a dealer. We saw multiple E-Rays go out above that number. Makes us feel better. Again, we're closing in on that 1,000 number for built cars. I think that ramp up's really kind of over, that slow, deliberate ramp up for E-Ray. At the same time, like I said, what we've really been worried about the last few constraint reports is the Z06, because the aero and the ground effects have all been constrained, and that means no Z07s are available. You have to have those 2 to get a Z07. This constraint report, we actually saw those 2 things were still unconstrained, but there was a lot better quantities available. Hopefully people will start to see an easing there as well. The other thing too with the constraint report is we have competition yellow, which is now coming online. Again, it's limited. GM is specifically telling dealers how many they can order of the new car for each model. The counts for both Hysteria and Competition Yellow are the same this time. So what they did was they have 156 vehicles, which were broken down into 92 Stingrays, 16 E-Rays, and 48 Z06s. Those are cars that can be built either in the purple metallic or the Competition Yellow. Chevy also allocated 20 Stingrays to get the new Habanero orange interior. That is very controlled as well. We're still watching that. But yeah, so we've got 2 new colors coming out. We've got a little easing on Z07s. Feel pretty good about this latest constraint report. Not real sure when the next order cycle is going to be because it would actually fall during the NCM anniversary show.
Right.
Not sure if the allocations are going to go out then or if they actually will go out at the beginning of September. So we're just kind of watching and waiting to see what we hear from our dealers on that.
Gotcha. Also, we got 2025 configurator is going to go live online September 10th.
We've already had some order cycles, so that's been kind of the conundrum here is how do you build and price a 2025 car using the 2024's ordering and build thing? And then basically you get the best idea possible out of the 2024s, and then you put pen to paper with your pricing to kind of come up and find out where you're going to be at there. This really should have come out earlier. The release coincides with the start of production for 2025s, but they've had pricing for 6 weeks. They've had the order guide for 2 months. This should have come out the day after pricing was announced at the latest, not the very first day after the Corvettes are starting production. I'm glad they're getting it up there. The new configurator is really marvelous. It works very well.
Yeah. The
timeliness, I wish we would have seen that a little bit earlier. As far as ZR1 is concerned, I doubt we'll have anything on pricing before the end of the year. I've heard ordering may happen in the spring, perhaps around March. Mm-hmm. Our friend Rick Conti has always been suggesting January is the launch, according to some of his sources, but not sure if that means they launch it in January, you end up ordering in March or what have you. But we are definitely looking at 2025 before any ordering of ZR1s happens.
Yeah, I heard that pricing will probably come in February. It's going to be a wait and see scenario.
Yes.
Also, the E-Ray deliveries are starting in Australia this month. That's kind of exciting.
Yeah, the World Domination Tour continues. So customers in both Australia and New Zealand are expecting to take their first deliveries in August, according to GM Specialty Vehicles, which handles the sales of the cars down there. Again, we're not expecting a lot of cars to go in this first round. I'd be actually surprised if it was greater than 10. These E-Rays aren't cheap. The recommended retail price in Australia is $275,000.
Ooh.
It's $285,000 in New Zealand. Obviously, that's considerably higher than the base price of the $115,000 3LZ E-Ray here in the country. And they have higher costs associated with, quote, getting it on the road as well. We call that like the taxes, title, and fees and other things.
Right.
And I know theirs is considerably higher. You're going to really have to want the car. And I think we're going to be limited in terms of how many exports over there. But again, getting these cars into the markets and letting those people see them in these new markets will just fuel purchases down the road. These early adopters are really helping us out with our World Domination Tour.
Exactly right. Also, this is probably one of the biggest stories we've had in the last 2 weeks, Keith. GM is offering a reimbursement for C7 Grand Sport and Z06 owners who had cracked wheels. That's a big deal.
It is. We've been following this story forever. So for people that know or don't know, the C7, the Grand Sport, and the Z06, their wheels have been plagued by getting these little structural cracks and fractures in them. Unfortunately, the cracks and fractures are made worse as the structural integrity fails when you hit a pothole or something else that causes the wheels to fail. General Motors has been shrugging off requests for warranty repair, stating that this was impact damage from potholes or other road debris. There's actually been a number of lawsuits and class action lawsuits brought against GM specifically over the cracked wheels. All of a sudden, this letter shows up. We're wondering maybe this was part of a settlement. We haven't heard of any settlements, but maybe GM's trying to get in front of it. They sent out a letter to current or previous owners of C7 Corvette, Z06, and Grand Sports about this extended warranty program that they have. They're calling it a repair reimbursement program for those who have repaired their wheels. They're still not taking responsibility of them, but what they're saying is that if basically you can prove that you paid for a wheel repair and you can prove that it wasn't caused due to a pothole or impact damage, that it was just a structural failure because of a crack or a fracture or something like that, there's a chance that you can basically get 100% of your money back. You have to really have that proof of payment. You have to have the supporting documentation that basically states from a GM repair center. I think the only way you can get this 100% back is by having that documentation that says, oh yeah, we had these cracks in it. They're very small, some of them. They're just little hairline fractures, but they get bigger as time goes by. So if you can show that you changed it for those, you might get all your money back. If not, you can submit like a sworn statement under penalty of perjury. But again, how much you'll get back on that, we're not real sure. The deadline for this program is January 25th of 2025. So just a few months to get your documentation together and get it submitted. Hopefully anybody that did go through this, they'll have some documentation that shows that, yeah, it was a structural failure of the wheel through a crack and it wasn't through like some road impact or pothole damage or something like that. Good to see GM being a little bit on the ball.
At least they're stepping in the right direction. That's a cool thing for sure. Well, buddy, let's take our first break. When we come back, it's Corvette Racing and Corvette Rumors on deck next, here on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft's PVD chrome finish in bright chrome or black chrome will take your Corvette to new levels. And it comes with a 5-year warranty. Durability is a defining feature of the Wheelcraft finish. Their PVD chrome is superior to traditional chrome, with a finish that is brake dust resistant and cleans effortlessly with soap and water. Wheelcraft offers factory wheel exchange for select C4 through C8 models, or they can apply the PVD finish to your current wheels. No matter what generation you own, Wheelcraft will transform the look of your Corvette. With every Corvette comes a unique story, and Wheelcraft has embraced this idea. When you purchase your new set of wheels, you receive a lifetime membership to the Wheelcraft Pit Crew, granting you access to your own page on Wheelcraft's website, where you can post pictures and tell your Corvette story. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call 833-639-4231. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
The National Corvette Restored Society is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. 50 years of affirming and promoting the preservation and restoration of the Corvette. 50 years as the foremost Corvette collector car organization for building value with its prestigious awards. Have you ever considered joining NCRS? Over 70,000 people have. We're so much more than just the nuts and bolts. The NCRS flight judging program can and often does increase the value of America's sports car by researching and publishing the leading tech manuals and judging guides for the 1953 through 2007 Corvettes, by training the best judges, and by hosting local, regional, and national judging events. And when you join, you'll get award-winning magazines like Corvette Restore and Driveline all throughout the year. Joining is simple and easy. Just go to ncrs.org and sign up. There are NCRS chapters all throughout the U.S. and all around the world. Chances are there's a local chapter near you. So join NCRS today at ncrs.org. We come for the Corvettes. We stay for the friendships made along the way.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
You're listening and watching Corvette Today with Steve Garrett.
Thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. It's the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels. Wheelcraft is going to be at Corvettes at Carlisle and the NCM's anniversary celebration. So you can pre-order your wheels at wheelcraft.com or give them a call, 833-639-4231. Wheelcraft will install your wheels at either of these shows. Then you can drive home in style with Wheelcraft. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is my pal, Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. We keep you current and up to date on what's happening in the world of Corvette every other week. In segment number 2, we always cover Corvette Racing and Corvette Rumors. Keith, Corvette Racing just celebrated its 300th start at Road America. What a milestone.
It's, we think of this team as just something that's always kind of been there. They actually just got their start in 1999 at the Rolex 24 Daytona, but since then they've actually won 115 of those races. They've started in IMSA 255 times, and they've earned 14 manufacturer championships in addition to their Le Mans wins as well. It's been an amazing run for the team. We've kind of changed our format a little bit now that we're in these GT3 regulations and we're not allowed to have professional driver or really factory teams anymore in the WEC. We can over here in IMSA. They're still allowing that. The team is mostly together, but now we have all these other series to follow as well. And then that's exciting too. So it's both something that's kind of like, you think back of how it used to be, but then also you look in the future and see what's happening with all these things. And we're going to have more customer cars, I think, coming out in the next year, some more series that we might be participating in. I think overall we're in a really good place. And I think the team really just needs to focus on reliability and racing strategies and trying to get a few more wins out there. It's tough because there's a lot of manufacturers manufacturers racing right now. Before, it seemed like, oh, there's only 2 or 3 or 4.
Right.
I think there's like 7 or 9 in GTD right now. I mean, there's quite a few teams in there.
That's really cool. And it's a big milestone. 300 starts is really, really cool. Congratulations.
Yeah. So we actually do have some news. So at Road America, the Z06 GT3Rs, they actually started 1 and 2. But if you saw that race, the number 3 car got punted off the track by a Mustang on the opening lap. I saw on social media there were more than a few people upset about that. That car actually kind of recovered and would finish 5th in class, while the 4 car would finish 6th in place. Not quite where we needed to be to catch up with the Rexy cars leading our class right now in points.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's still a few more races to go, so anything can happen there. The other thing, too, that happened in GTD, the AWA Corvette had its best finish ever. They finished 5th. And in fact, that team was the day's top movers. They gained 16 positions overall and 10 in class to finish in 5th place. So congratulations to them. Again, we're seeing a lot more reliability out of their car as well. The next race for IMSA in the Corvette Z06 GT3Rs is the Michelin GT Challenge at Virginia International Raceway. That's coming up August 23rd and 25th. And then we have the World Endurance Championship. Those teams are coming to America on September 1st for the Lone Star Le Mans at COTA in Austin, Texas.
Nice. Let's get to rumors, Keith, because we got a lot of ZR1 rumors. First, they've been seen all over Detroit. The ZR1 prototypes were spotted just parked out on the streets in Detroit, which is kind of amazing. Also, our new executive chief engineer, Tony Roma, was showing off his new ZR1, and we had a great big gathering of ZR1s at Tadge Juechter's retirement party. Wow, they're all over the place.
I mean, it's been a target-rich environment. We basically have had new ZR1 photos to share maybe every other day or so the last 2 weeks. There just is another sighting here, another sighting there. There's on the streets. We've seen official gatherings, like we said, with Tony Roma showing off his car. And then also we've got the retirement party where a whole bunch of people showed up. Just to kind of get through it, it's been real interesting because some of these early production models, they're missing things. Like Tony Roma's car, he was showing off a red Mist car with a big wing on it, but he doesn't have the split window on his car. Mm-hmm. We think that was just to hide the design element when they were working on it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think the chief engineer does deserve to have a split window on his ZR1.
Yeah,
so maybe we'll get there. We also had a huge gathering of Corvette engineers who attended a retirement party for Tadge at the Lingenfelder collection. There were at least 7 ZR1s captured in 5 different colors. And we also had a Hysteria Z06 convertible that was driven by Harlan Charles that's there. Of course, our friend Jeff Zippity Doodah was a guest with Lance Miller, and they shared both photos and videos of these Corvettes on their social media sites. We have those on CorvetteBlogger. You can check those out. Going back to the Instagram video of Tony Roma, that was, I believe, 2 Saturdays ago that we shared that. We had like 20,000 views on it. Now, I usually don't share inside stories like this, but the crazy thing is GM called that Instagrammer that put up that video. Tony Roma standing on a public street talking to other people, kind of demonstrating it. The video itself was just music. Enter Sandman by Metallica.
Wow.
GM asked him to take the video down and he complied. I'm not quite sure why they did that. Lucky for us, we did have some screenshots. We still have the pictures up there. My gut feeling is they just don't like the fact that it's a pre-production model without the split window design there. This was a car in a public setting and we're not real sure why they had him take this video down, but he did and they complied. He could have told him to pound sand because it was a public setting on a sidewalk. The biggest news was probably that party. When those pictures broke of those 7 ZR1s all lined up together, that was a very fun moment. Great to see all the cars. Everybody was checking out the different stuff. And those cars had split windows. I mean, they look really complete. So they're all pre-production models still, but they look really complete.
It was awesome. Those are great pictures and videos. Speaking of ZR1s, Josh Holder took his ZR1 to the NCRS National Convention in Virginia Beach, and it was sitting there in full view as well.
Just right in the parking lot. He has a Riptide Blue with aluminum wheels, red brake calipers. It's a no-wing coupe. We had some great photos of it. We also had a walk-around video of it. And by the way, Josh's car is the 32nd ZR1 built. It's got an EX VIN, which is an experimental VIN. So unfortunately, it's going to be crushed when the testing is finished or when the saleable units start to come. Chevy has only built experimental VIN ZR1 so far. So that kind of tells us they're still a little ways away from finalizing the design and then moving to a saleable unit. We call these saleable units because when they're done testing them, they can actually put them into their dealer auction network and sell them off to dealers as pre-owned cars. They come with warranties and all that other stuff that the pre-owned cars do. Nothing wrong with them, just they were driven by an engineer for a few miles and then they're put up for sale. Once we get to those saleable VINs, I know that we'll be getting close to the start of regular production. So that's really kind of one of the things that we're watching. And we do know that just within the last week or two, They did build a black coupe, we heard. It was just a one-off. We're not seeing a whole bunch of cars built. That brings up one other thing. I think last time we talked, I was kind of worried about how many cars we might have out at Carlisle.
Right.
But seeing at least 7 of these guys driving them at Tadge's party makes me think that we'll have more than a couple that will be there. That's pretty exciting. And of course, we'll have the cutaways and some other stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff happening there, and looking forward to seeing them live.
Boy, I tell you what, when you say crush and ZR1s in the same sentence, it hurts my heart.
Does it put a lump in your throat, Steve?
It hurts my heart, buddy.
A little bit, yeah.
Absolutely.
And you got to wonder, like, okay, I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take that off, you know?
Right.
I know they have to crush the engine and stuff like that, but keep the carbon fiber.
Oh, it hurts my heart. That's all I can say. Well, buddy, let's take our final break. When we come back, the lighter side of Corvette is on deck next, here on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With agreed value protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
Hey, honey, are you awake?
I am now.
I can't sleep. Since turning 50, I keep dreaming of a red door and a blue door, somehow knowing there are only choices for retirement.
Okay.
Through the red door, we outlive our money. We have to rely on our kids. We're stuck on a fixed income. It's terrifying.
Yeah, that would suck.
But through the blue door, our money outlives us. We retire on our terms. Our kids stay our kids, not our caretakers. We make work optional.
Yes, that's much better. That's what I want too. But what do we do?
We call True Wealth & Company at 913-653-8783. They specialize in helping successful people make work optional. They're our fiduciary Blue Door personal wealth managers.
Hey, where are you going? It's 3 a.m.
I can't sleep. I'm going to check out True Wealth & Company online at retirewithtrue.com. That Blue Door is going to be our retirement.
913-653-8783. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Investment advice offered through True Wealth & Company, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Kansas.
VetFinders.com is the Internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25. And every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada, and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetFinders.com, the Internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
Rev up your ride with the ultimate upgrade. The Radiator Grill Store is your go-to destination for top-notch C8 Corvette Stingray, Z06, and E-Ray accessories. Elevate your style with custom-painted engine bay covers, sleek front splitters, and side skirts that scream sophistication. Keep your C8 protected with premium Radiator Grill screens. Stand out from the crowd at car shows and beyond. Use code CT10 for an exclusive 10% discount off your total purchase at radiatorgrillstore.com. Don't miss out on turning heads. Upgrade your Corvette today.
This is the Corvette Today podcast with Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels. Wheelcraft will be at Corvettes at Carlisle and the NCM's anniversary celebration. You can pre-order your wheels at wheelcraft.com or give them a call at 833-639-4231. Wheelcraft will install your wheels at either of these shows, then you get to drive home in style with Wheelcraft. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is my pal, Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger. If you want a deeper dive into any of the stories that we cover, you can always go to CorvetteBlogger.com. In our final segment, we talk about the lighter side of Corvette. Actually, this isn't lighter, Keith. Carbon Revolution was talking about the new ZR1 wheels in carbon fiber. That was a real good conversation.
It was actually. These wheels are much more complex on the ZR1 than they were for the Z06. The ZR1s, the spokes are thinner. There's a few more of them, though. But the Z06, you see just the 5-spoke design. You think, wow, those look really strong. They're very thick spokes and all that. In the press release, Carbon Revolution says that there's special internal fiber architecture on these wheels. And they also use this patent-pending diamond weave technology, which I think sounds really cool. with this stuff that they put together, they were able to surpass GM's high targets for strength, weight, and durability.
Wow.
One of the ways they increased the strength of the rear wheels to handle the 800 foot-pounds of torque was to increase the spread size of the bolt pattern there. So that is why the Z06 wheels will not fit on the ZR1 and vice versa, because the bolt pattern is a little bit more spread out.
Okay.
We've also got a really huge photo of the new carbon design wheel. From it, you can really zoom in and see how they were able to do it, because you have these carbon fiber weaves going in different directions, and it's a really intricate design. So I would definitely check that out. But that was why we hadn't really seen anything from Carbon Revolution on a lot of the early testing yet. I think they were still working their way through that, but it sounds like they're ready to go. They've got them set up in a way that, like the Z06, will just start to come in and they'll be able to inventory them. We've never had any real supply issues with Carbon Revolution. They're really on the ball.
That's really great. It's a shame for Z06 owners, because I like both wheels. I really like the ZR1 wheels, but Z06 owners cannot put that wheel from the ZR1 on your car. That's a bummer.
Yep. There's a specific reason why that is, and it's because of the strength of the carbon fiber wheels.
Yeah. Also, Motor Week tested the new 2024 E-Ray. That's great to see that Motor Week's given a little visibility to Corvette.
Yeah, first of all, they released a short first drive video just to kind of show off the car, do a little preview. Of course, they had to show off a little preview in stealth mode as well. So that's always fun for E-Rays.
That was cool, yeah.
It's the one thing that E-Ray owners can do that nobody else can.
Right.
They did that out. We don't have the date yet of when the full Motor Week test video will be out. Keep checking back on that, because I'm anxious to watch that.
I am too. That will be cool. And we finally got our first look at Hysteria Purple on a Z06.
Well, I'm so excited. People know that I really love this color. The controlled release is killing me, but we're getting there. But to see the actual car, we saw it first on the Z06 with Harlan Charles driving at a Tadge retirement party. He also took his car to the M1 concourse for the Corvettes of Woodward event.
Yeah.
That was last Wednesday. And then, of course, over the weekend, we had another Hysteria E-Ray on display at the National Corvette Museum for that Cultural Awareness Corvette event that's happening. Again, all of a sudden, where we just had no idea what this car looked like, suddenly we've got all these photos, and wow, the color really changes from, I call it indigo blue. It's a bluish purple in the light. I think it looks really good, but when it's in the shade, it's a great purple color. It's not like Night Race Blue where you say, oh, it's black in the shade. You know, you can definitely see it's a definite shade of purple there. That's pretty exciting stuff. They increased the quantities of this last order cycle, and so hopefully that'll just continue to happen.
It's kind of neat because the Hysteria Purple is kind of a reverse color. Usually when it's in the shade, it's darker, but you get more of the purple in the shade rather than when it's in the sun.
Yeah, really excited about the color. That's always the fear. I talked about two things that keep me up at night. Is one of them is ordering a Corvette without seeing the color first. Well, we've seen it now, and now I'm sleeping good at night.
Now you can order your E-Ray, buddy. Also, we saw the competition yellow. That looks awesome.
You know, I'm really excited about this car. I'm not a yellow person, but I'm excited about this color coming back. We recently saw competition yellow on a 2025 Z06. It was at the Troy Traffic Jam car show up in Michigan. And then, of course, there was a yellow E-Ray also at the National Corvette Museum's Cultural Awareness Corvette show. We're seeing these competitions yellow. They're orderable now. And I'm actually having a really good feeling that these are going to do really well. You see the comments on Facebook and Twitter, and people just saying, wow, that looks really good, or finally a real yellow. It brings a little bit closer to the Corvette team yellow. This is a true yellow color. I think people are really going to wake up and say, you know what, I need to get that on my car. It's going to be interesting to compare these production numbers to the Accelerate Yellow, which had that little greenish hue.
Yep.
Of course, some people are very disappointed that that color is going away because it is a little bit more exotic because it's got that tint to it than the straight up yellow. But I think Competition Yellow as a heritage color is going to do very well.
I think so too. I agree with you. I think Accelerate Yellow is going to do really, really well. Well, buddy, thank you so much for being back on Corvette Today. Meet you back here in 2 weeks, okay?
Sounds good, Steve. We'll see you at Carlisle.
Absolutely right. Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today. And be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today show. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-639-4231. Soul Performance Products at SOULPP.com, the official performance exhaust of Corvette Today. C8 Corvette at CIOCCA Corvette.com. E5 Wheels at E5Wheels.com. True Wealth and Company at retirewithtrue.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels, get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at aerolarri.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at chevyusa.com.
Thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. If you'd like to contact Steve with ideas for Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Also, sign up for email notifications at corvettetoday.ck.page. Follow Steve and the show on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Threads at Steve Garrett DJ. Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today.